Andy Virr, you're the chairman of the panel. We heard some intelligent and tough questions today. Were you satisfied with the answers you got?
I think the inquiry is really important to get to the bottom of whether this is the right decision for Cornwall. I think we've had some really helpful sessions this morning trying to understand a bit more about what is an accountable care system, when is the right time for Cornwall, what will be the sign that we'll be ready to have an accountable care system if that's the decision we take.
Well, those were indeed the questions. What did you make of the answers you heard?
I think those who've come today to present to us have given us a better understanding. I think we're clearer now in terms of the timing, the importance of both the health and social care system being ready in terms of some key thresholds that they need to move to. We've heard that they need to make more progress on the finances and the urgent care system performance at the moment, which is a real concern, particularly for me. So I was reassured by those answers.
One of the points that came up in an answer was that the target date of 1st of April isn't set in stone, is the quote. What do you think? Why not recommend that perhaps a little bit more time?
I think it's important to differentiate between a shadow and a full process running. So what's being asked for at the moment is around a shadow accountable care system where essentially health and social care leaders will in the background work together as if it was a full ACS and to see how that would impact on decisions. For me, the critical thing is going to be what will be the milestones if we agree to go to that, to moving into a full accountable care system. What will be the sign that we're ready to do that?
Can I ask you a little bit about the inquiry panel itself and the witnesses that you're proposing to call? We've seen a list of those suggested witnesses. It's not an exhaustive list necessarily, but there does seem to be a glaring omission, and that is NHS Property Services, who own most of the real estate, which, according to the Naylor report earlier this year, may well have to be sold. Surely that is a really fundamental area of inquiry for you, because that's where a big chunk of the money is going to come from to run the NHS next year.
So this inquiry is looking at the prospect of a accountable care system which is having a commissioning role. And you make a good point in terms about the NHS estate. That is something that would be important to any provider providing NHS services. So I'm not sure it's directly related to this inquiry, but clearly it's important.
Well, surely the location of the strategic hubs, and we heard today that there are only going to be 7 serving the population of Cornwall. That's coming down. That's a big drop from the number of cottage hospitals that we've got at the moment. So surely deciding which hospitals are going to close and which are going to stay open and perhaps be turned into hubs, that's a very fundamental thing that goes right to the heart of what people care about the NHS in Cornwall.
Okay, you make a good point. What we haven't heard today, and we're still waiting, is the outcome of the sustainability transformation plans or the shaping our future. We expect to find in that more details in the future, particularly around community hospitals. That evidence is not being presented to this inquiry, that's not part of that, but we have made the point that in terms of the timing of the starting of accountable care system, if that's the direction we go, that we must see the evidence of the STP. That's really, for me, it's the evidence that the system can work together in the future, or the evidence now in terms of where are the plans for the STPs.
A couple of buzzwords, trust and building confidence and so on, and you'll have come past the protesters this morning. Do you think it was a good idea for the accord to be signed before your inquiry panel had even sat?
My understanding is that what will happen from this inquiry is that we will give recommendations to Cabinet and that may go to full council, and that'll be the key milestones in terms of moving forward for this.
Sure.
So I think people are maybe signing agreement in terms of progressing the idea, but we have a critical role in terms of scrutinising it, whether it's the right approach for Cornwall.
I mean, maybe signing the accord was of symbolic importance, but it was the wrong symbol, surely, to send to protesters.
I think everybody believes that integration is the right way forward, and we're looking at what's the right model, and we've been presented with this idea of the accountable care system, and I think it's great that all the partners are keen to work towards that, but we have a crucial role in saying, is this particular model right for Cornwall, and when is the right time, if it is the right model, to introduce it?
Again, looking at the list of witnesses that you're planning to call before your inquiry concludes next month, I couldn't see one that I would recognise as overtly hostile to the basic idea of accountable care systems or accountable care organisations. Is that deliberate?
No, please don't see a conspiracy theory there. please be reassured that plenty of people have already contacted me from a wide range of views and will continue to do that. I think all panel members themselves come with a skepticism, healthy skepticism to this. A number of us already work in the health system, and if I want to vote for a system that I know that's going to help myself care for patients that I do every day of the week. So we all come with a view. We cherish the NHS we have here in Cornwall, and we want to see the right system to make that even better.